Daniel Jones, big old Daniel Jones last night was terrific.
Yeah, there's no other way to put it.
Daniel Jones in this preseason, okay, last night, 10 drives, 10 of them, 9 of 11, 369 yards this preseason. 2 touchdowns, passer rating of 140.1.
I heard that's good.
Eli's had 3 drives this year, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's 3 drives, pardon me. Was this last night numbers right here? Right, yeah, last night. Jeez. Daniel Jones.
Who do you think he thanks first in his Hall of Fame speech?
Well, probably Cutcliffe, Coach Cut at Duke for giving him his start.
Right.
And then he wants to thank Dave Gettleman for falling in love with him in 3 Senior Bowl snaps.
Yep. Then mom and dad.
25
probably.
of 30 for 369 yards and 2 touchdowns in 3 games. How about that? So there's this. What do we make of it? I don't know. I think Bleacher Report's Mike Tanier said it best. I retweeted him today. Not going to read too much into it, but I'm glad I didn't crap all over him around the draft. As a matter of fact, when I heard all of the Daniel Jones criticism, Joel Klatt
was
on our show the next day.
Oh, my gosh.
And he is terrific at his job. He is as prepared as anybody. He is as professional as anybody. He is as good as anybody. And he came on our show the next day, prepared to be on NFL Network on the Friday night portion of the rounds 2 and 3 of the draft. And he put it on full blast, saying that the Giants may have set back the franchise for years, right, by making this pick.
Yeah, that's what he said. And we all were kind of like, okay, that makes sense.
And now normally, coaches wouldn't spike the football after 3 preseason games when Daniel Jones isn't going against many of the ones significantly the entire time. But he's making throws, man, and he's confident, and the throws are great. And there's no question in my mind he's got a bigger arm than Eli Manning right now. It just makes sense that just a dude coming off of the campus has got a stronger arm than somebody who's pushing 40. I mean, let's be honest here. Neck up, though, there's no competition. Zero competition in terms of identifying blitzes, in terms of being in the crucible of a game, in terms of knowing where people are. Eli Manning, head and shoulders above Daniel Jones. And I'm not even in practice to see how far advanced Jones could be. But when rubber meets road, games start this year, Eli's the week 1 starter. That said, you'd think a head coach would kind of pump the brakes a little bit on all of the hype by just saying it's just a few preseason games. But Pat Shermer had heard enough over the last 4 months to go at the podium after last night's Daniel Jones performance and say this.
About every 6 or 7 days now I've been able to tell you that's what we saw when we drafted him. You can ask me all you want about why I like him. I think it's time to start asking the people that didn't like him what they think, quite frankly.
Nice little exclamation point there.
Andrew Siciliano is going to be our first guest up on Monday after this weekend, talking about the Red Zone that he is so expert at hosting here on DirecTV. He tweeted out the differing back pages of the New York Post after the Giants drafted Daniel Jones. Blues clueless. It's a picture of Dave Gettleman looking clueless. His eyes are closed. His hands are up in the air like he can't even see in front of him. Inexplicably, Giants take Duke QB number 6. That was the headline day after the draft. Today's headline after Daniel Jones has his 3rd excellent preseason showing. Heir apparent. AIR apparent. There's Daniel Jones looking great. Jones makes it clear he's set to unseat Eli sooner rather than later. Now, you think, what did he say? Did he say that last night? No. That's good old Steve Serby giving you a little bit of his New York Post take. It says, see the word Serby up there on the screen? That means, trust me, I've read the Post for a very, very long time. That's his take. They're putting the headline up there to make you think, did Daniel Jones really say that? Let me buy this piece of Murdoch paper. He didn't say anything like that. But he did have a lot to say last night, or he did have an opportunity to say a lot put this up on the screen. Tom Rock of Newsday, who covers the Giants, I will describe this for you. It is a massive media throng with all sorts of boom mics to hear what Daniel Jones has to say after last night's performance. And to the right, on the very right of the screen, putting his shoes on by himself in this little locker that Cincinnati has for the away team, okay, dressed like looking like a high schooler, slipping on his shoes with nobody around him talking to him, is Eli Manning. Great copy by Tom Rock of Newsday. The media swarms the Giants star quarterback while another nearby player puts his shoes on. Great stuff. In all seriousness, what do you think Eli's thinking there? Okay?
Eli's probably happy he's not being bothered.
Maybe, but again, Marshall brought it up yesterday. Marshall Falk brought it up yesterday. He thinks Eli will not finish the full season because the Giants have a history of telling their veteran quarterback, you're done. We got to go with the young kid. Even though Kurt, I think, was 5-4 at the time where he was sat, and it's time to go with Eli. Different story here. Eli's got 2 trophies in the case. Ben McAdoo tried to move on from him. You said he was doing the right thing. Problem is, even if you do agree he was doing the right thing, you can't do that and move on to Geno Smith. You need to have somebody like Daniel Jones to move on to.
Agreed.
So the Giants do have that now.
So what do you do?
Start Eli Manning, win games. And if he does begin to flag, you have to think about going with this kid, Daniel Jones. You really do. But right now, Pat Shermer's like, don't ask me about what I like about him. I think you need to ask all those haters what they didn't like about him. Quite frankly.
The quite frankly spike on that is too good.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.